You need to know your market like the back of your hand as a real estate agent. And so by the end of this video, you're going to know how to learn, study, and actually know your real estate market. Every successful agent that I know has implemented this, and it's given them more clients. And I've helped many other agents, including the ones on my team, study, know, and perform the market, and which has ultimately gotten them more listings and gotten them more buyers. So stay tuned. So before I actually get into how to learn, study, and know your market, let me know in the comments below if you feel like you actually know your market pretty well already. I'm just very curious about who's actually watching this. So the first step that you want to do to really know your market is to start to drive around your market. Now, when I say market, I'm not saying the whole city. I know it's so common for agents to want to work everywhere, but I'm talking about specifically your chosen market area. It shouldn't be too large and it shouldn't be too small, but you want to start driving around that market. And here's what you want to notice when you're driving around. You want to take note of homes where it looks like the grass is getting real tall, or it looks like no one is living there. You want to take note of any for sale by owner signs that have gone up. You also want to take note of any new construction that you see happening. A builder has put a sign in the yard, or it looks like they're about to demo a house down. And then lastly, you want to take note of anybody who looks like they're doing some major renovations or constructions on their home. Those are things that you're going to want to know, and you're going to want to find out what's exactly going on. In addition to that, you need to know the streets. You need to know what street is one street over and what street is two streets over. What are the major intersections? When you're learning a new market, these are things that you're going to have to know to be able to speak to people who live in those areas. Next, you want to start studying the MLS for market activity. Now, market activity is going to be different from the next step that I'm going to tell you about. And so market activity is going to be the things like new listings, listings that just expired, listings that just went under contract, anything pending, anything canceled, and especially listings that have sold. You want to know those like the back of your hand. So set up any type of alerts or anything like that in your MLS so that you stay on top of the market activity. Now, in addition to market activity, and this is step number 3, you want to study the behind the scenes market activity, or the agent privilege information. That's going to be things like your list price to actual sales price ratios, your days on market, not just with this agent, but maybe if it's been on the market before, so the cumulative days on market. You want to know the sold price per square foot, so not of just maybe one listing, but all of the listings in the areas that have recently sold. So what's the average price per square foot in your farm area? What's the average price per square foot in your market for new construction versus pre-owned homes? You need to know this information. I want to know, for those of you who haven't really studied your market and don't really know your market, let me know if you're going to start studying your market, and also write down in the comments what market you actually work in and what's the price point there. I would be very interested in just knowing what area some of you work. You never know, I may have a referral for that area. Number 4, you want to become familiar with the other active agents in that market. Now, I know a lot of agents sell everywhere, and it's noticeable, you know, those agents who will only maybe sell a property here and there in different areas, but most of the times, especially in good markets, there are agents who constantly sell in that market. They may farm that area a lot. They may always have listings. You want to know which agents tend to bring the most listings to the market, and then you also want to know what agent tends to bring the most buyers in the market. Even though they are your competitors and they are your competition, they can also be your allies on a deal. So let's just say, for instance, I got a listing in a new neighborhood, and I noticed that Agent A always has buyers who they've sold homes to. I'm gonna call Agent A and let them know about this listing coming up, just in case they may have a buyer already in their database. Or let's say on the flip side, if I have a buyer that wants to move in a certain neighborhood, I'm gonna call that agent who tends to sell in that neighborhood a lot and ask them if maybe they have some hip pockets or some off-market properties or anything coming up that I can potentially show to one of my buyers. So you wanna know what agents actively work in that area. The next thing you wanna do when you start to study and know your market is go out and preview the homes. whenever something comes on the market, even if it's in a coming soon stage, try to get in there and go and preview that home. You want to know what's coming on. You may not have a buyer for it, or you may have a buyer for it, but you need to know. Whenever you are talking to neighbors, maybe you're hosting an open house, or you're doing some mail outs, or you're just hanging out in the local area, you want to know what's coming on the market. You want to be able to say, oh yeah, I've seen that home, it's beautiful inside. They have this staircase that wraps around, and like knowing all those things, people are going to look at you like you are the top agent because you know your market. It's going to get you more listings. It's going to get you more buyers who trust you because they know that you're familiar with your market just because you have previewed properties. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button below and let me know what your biggest takeaway is. And if you know somebody who could potentially benefit from this information, maybe a colleague or one of your team members, feel free to share this information. I'm an open book. And if you enjoy this type of content and need more of it, you can click the subscribe button to be notified when I release new videos, because I do release new videos weekly. I actually have a mailing list that you are more than welcome to join. It's free to join, and I send out a lot of scripts and best practices, things that I use in my business, secret videos, all that type of stuff. So you can click the link below to go ahead and join that mailing list. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.